People talk too much. They explain too much. They argue, defend, shout, trying to prove they matter. And yet, the most powerful man in the room is the one who says the least. Strange, isn't it? In a world obsessed with noise, silence feels like rebellion. It makes people uncomfortable because it shows them something they can't control. Have you felt it? That moment when your silence made someone squirm, not because you attacked them, but because you didn't need to. There's a kind of strength that doesn't need validation, a confidence that doesn't demand applause. And that kind of strength lives in the shadows. You see, we were taught to prove ourselves, to speak up, to fight back, to be seen. But Stoic strength doesn't fight to be noticed. It fights to stay focused. It's not about avoiding conflict. It's about mastering your energy. Because when you argue, when you explain, when you chase noise, you scatter your power. The Stoics knew this. They didn't preach silence as weakness. They lived it as control, as command, as calm under pressure. And today, we've forgotten. We reward noise. We mistake volume for value. We think louder means stronger. But strength doesn't shout. It watches. It waits. It moves when it's time. So here's the real question. Are you powerful enough to stay quiet? Or do you still need the world to hear you just to believe you exist? Every time you speak, you give away something. Your time, your energy, your clarity. But no one teaches you that. You're told to stand your ground, to say your piece, to speak your truth. But here's what they don't tell you. Not every battle deserves your sword, and not every fool deserves your voice. The more you talk, the more you reveal your thoughts, your plans, your weaknesses. And the man who talks too much bleeds his power into the dirt. You think you're defending yourself, but really, you're exposing yourself. You think you're in control, but really, you're reacting. Strong men don't explain. They embody. They execute. They become. Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." But listening isn't just about hearing others. It's about hearing yourself without noise. Because silence isn't empty. It's where real thoughts grow. It's where strategy forms. It's where discipline lives. So if you keep reacting, explaining, arguing, what energy is left for your actual mission? How much of your fire are you wasting trying to be understood by those who will never understand? You don't need to be loud to be clear. You don't need to respond to be respected. You need to be still, so your strength can echo. Because men of real power, they speak less, but when they do, the world listens. Most men think silence is something you show to others, but our real silence starts inside. It's not just the mouth that needs to be quiet, it's the mind. The mind that wants to argue, to defend, to correct every opinion that rubs it wrong, to explain every move, every action. That's the true war, and most men lose it, every day. They speak to fill the air, but the air was never empty. It was full of their own fear, fear of being misunderstood, fear of being unseen. And fear is always loud, but purpose is calm. Purpose doesn't flinch. Purpose waits. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The calm man, he doesn't need to speak to feel strong. He doesn't chase every insult with a comeback, because his self-worth isn't borrowed from approval. It's built from discipline. When your inner world is still, you see more. You feel less pulled. You act when needed, not when provoked. Silence isn't escape, it's control. It's saying, I could, but I won't. And in that moment, you win, not over them, but over you. Because the loudest victory isn't the one the world hears. It's the one that never needed to be heard at all. So ask yourself this: what would your life look like if you stopped answering every noise? In a world chasing validation, there's something terrifying about a man who builds in silence. No updates, no status posts, no announcements, just action. Quiet, focused, relentless. While others are busy arguing online, he's building his body. He's sharpening his mind. He's stacking quiet victories no one claps for. And that's what makes him dangerous, because by the time they notice, it's too late. See, people respect what they didn't see coming. They mock what's loud, but they fear what was silent and still won. Seneca said, "Work in silence, let success make the noise." But today, everyone's trying to broadcast effort. Every rep, every step, every move, posted, explained, defended. But strong men, they don't talk about what they're doing, because their mission is bigger than attention. It's about impact, legacy, precision. When you live in silence, you think clearer, you move cleaner, you protect your vision from the noise. Because noise demands reaction, but silence creates results. So next time you feel the urge to speak, to prove, to perform, ask yourself, are you building something worth watching? Or are you just hoping someone's watching you? Because the shadow is where true warriors sharpen their blade. And when the time comes, they don't announce. They arrive. They don't see the battle, not the one inside you, not the pressure you carry, not the moments you wanted to scream, but stayed silent. Because strength doesn't always look like lifting weights. Sometimes it looks like holding your tongue. Sometimes it looks like walking away from a war that isn't yours. And no one claps for that. No one sees discipline when it's invisible. But that's where it's real. That's where it counts. When they lie about you, you stay calm. When they test you, you don't flinch. When they push, you don't push back. Not because you're weak, but because you've already won. You see, the world wants you to react. It wants you loud, emotional, unstable. Because once you break, you're easy to control. But calm is unpredictable. Calm is terrifying. Calm is power. Under control. Imagine the man who holds everything in and still moves forward, still builds, still dominates. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone does wrong, it's their problem, not yours." And that mindset, it frees you, it sharpens you, it makes you untouchable. Because the real war isn't with others, it's with the version of you that wants to react. And every time you choose silence over chaos, you win. You've heard the noise, you've felt the pull, and maybe you've answered it before. You argued, you reacted, you chased approval, and every time, you gave a piece of yourself away. But now you know. There is power in what you don't say, strength in what you withhold, control in every moment you choose peace over pride. Because silence isn't just an absence of words, it's a presence of purpose. It's choosing the mission over the moment. It's staying hidden to stay undefeated. And the man who lives like that, he doesn't fight for attention, he commands it by staying unseen until his results make him undeniable. Marcus Aurelius said, Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. That's it. No arguments, no reactions, just presence, just purpose, just quiet progress that no one saw coming. So from here on, walk in shadows, work in silence, rise without warning. And when the world tries to pull you out, smile and let your silence answer. Because some men shout to be heard, but others, they build in silence and become legends.